How to become a millionaire with $1,000. That's the talk for today. So if you only had $1,000, what would you do? Well, I'm going to talk about three specific things today. I'm going to talk about how you'd even spend or use that $1,000. I'm going to talk about bootstrapping, and I'm going to talk about how you're going to get a team together without any other capital and how to get people working for and with you when you don't have the money to pay them. All three strategies. So get a pen and paper. You younger folks are going to have a lot of fun. Parents, if you're already millionaires or 100,000aires, get your kids to watch this too. I want them in this conversation about money. In fact, I want you and your whole family to subscribe to my channel. Click the notification and actually listen to it. How you bring this conversation into your household is critical. Because why would you go create a massive wealth or even generational wealth and not bring your kids to the conversation who are actually going to receive the benefit of it? This has to be an integrated conversation. And the way that I would do it is every day around the breakfast table the next morning or during the breakfast, you listen 10, 12 minutes of my YouTube channel, just talk about it or do it at dinner time. What did you learn? What's one thing we're going to do different in this family? Just integrate it. Just start the conversation in your family. So how would you become a millionaire with $1,000? So let's just think about this. If you only had $1,000, first of all, right, how would you spend it? Well, the first thing I would do is I'd get operational so I could do business. So if you don't have a phone, get a phone. Like you gotta have a phone to even begin. So that's how I'd spend that. I'd find somewhere to stay. There's tons of interesting places. You could live with other people. You could, offer to do some fixing around their property. I mean, you gotta get creative about where you're gonna stay just to get stable if that's all you were doing. Let's assume you're already stable, you got a place to live, food and all that stuff. You could make $1 million and become a millionaire with your phone. You literally could. You could drop me anywhere in the world and within an hour I'd be making money. So the 1,000 is an interesting idea. What would you do? I'd buy a phone and I wouldn't do a lot extra because I would want to preserve the cash. I would go make new money. You all have an amazing skill set. You could drop me anywhere in the world with Google Translate. I could, in any language, coach people on money and business because the only thing you're not taking away from me in this formula is my brains and experience. But you took everything away, my database, you took everything else away. It's exactly what I would do. I would start selling my time and get some more money. I would get more money and more money. And inside of that, I would be looking for the right relationships of people who really have the beat on the street in real estate. The fastest way to become a millionaire, my opinion, is either start your own company and sell your way to success or start your own company and buy a bunch of real estate, but you got to have a team around you to do it. So how would you spend the 1,000? I would conserve a lot of it, believe it or not, and I would bootstrap by selling your time. Is it the perfect model? That's not what we're talking about. Is how do you go from 1,000 to a millionaire? You've got to get a sustainable business. So I could sell X amount of coaching. Through all of that, I would be navigating, looking for the right people that have the beat on the street for real estate. And then I'd either coordinate the team, I'd organize the team, I'd find the money, right? Go for OPM, OPC, other people's credit, other people's IRA. I'd find where I can put a deal to the money. And then in the beginning, I would flip them because I want to actually stockpile more and more cash. So I would start flipping the properties or flipping the companies. I have flipped pizzerias, hair salons, laundromats, all sorts of small little businesses in town that can create extra capital for you. So even if you're only making 20, 40, 80, 100,000 in those turns, you only have to do a few, right? Because we didn't have a time limit. We just said from the limitation of 1,000, what would you do, right? So I would keep it and I would add to it and I would constantly be adding to it. And at some point, here's an interesting turn for a lot of you who haven't been millionaires or multimillionaires for a while. At some point, because you're so experienced, you stop using your own money. You put your own money somewhere else and you use other people's money to do the deals. And I know that's a really odd concept for a lot of you, but that's the leverage of good debt at the highest form. Number two, what would I do? So as far as bootstrapping, again, it's being really resourceful. It's knowing how to make money. And I think the biggest thing that people don't know that want to bootstrap is you don't know how to make fast cash. And I have perfected the model of making fast cash. I can help you make money in 5 minutes to 10 minutes to an hour to 3 hours, as long as you're willing to do what it takes, which means you have to speak. There's a whole process I teach called Ask, Tell, Ask. Come to my marketplace. People make hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. I have had people make $19,000, $21,000 in just a few days using these new skills and strategies that I teach in my marketplace. Here's like a simple talk track. I say, my name's Loral. I'm a money expert. What's the one thing I could do today to change your life with money? And I would listen to them. If they want to get out of debt, then I would, for $25 or whatever, I would sell my debt calculator, my debt plan. If they wanted to make more money, I put them in my marketplace, which I put them at a VIP level, so I make $47. And you say, well, Loral, you're talking about little bits of money. I know, but I'd rather have 100 people pay me $10 than one person give me 100,000, because now I have 100 people to sell other stuff to, or 100 people to find OPM, OPC, or OPI. which is other people's money, other people's credit, other people's IRAs. So I want volume of people. Again, entering a market, I want to find a database. I want to find people who are on this in the streets that want to do this, and I can coordinate and lead the structure of it. So bootstrapping has made me hundreds of millions of dollars. It's been a fun jam. And before I talk about the team, again, I talked about subscribing to my channel. If you actually binge watch, I have that in the link below. You can earn up to $750 binge watching. So every 25 hours that you give me in binge watching time, there's a way on the link that'll show you how to track it. You can apply $750 towards the new tuition, new mentoring with us. So let's get you smart. See, the challenge with a lot of you is you don't know money or finance or how to do a deal. You just have great ideas. Now you have to turn that idea into a deal so it actually can generate some cash. And then your daily actions have to have a result called your bank account increases. A lot of you are just busy and bank accounts aren't changing because you're not doing the right behavior. I don't care what the industry, you've got to market, you got to sell, and you have to understand cash flow. So let's talk about hiring a team. So again, I want your whole team on this social channel. So make sure you're sharing my channel with the people in your community so we all get up to speed together. But how do you hire a team? You put them on commission. A lot of people are used to working for commission. And by the way, salespeople are the highest paid people in the world. There's not one successful guru that doesn't say you have to learn sales. When you learn sales, that is the highest skill you can learn because you don't learn it in school. Even if you got a master's degree, you're not learning entrepreneurial sales. Making money from nothing, bootstrapping, and with a team who's willing to play for commission is how I have made a lot of money. I went from about $365,000 my first year out in coaching and doing financial coaching, business coaching, to $1.7 million with only 2 people. And it was 2 people who knew how to sell. And so they would set appointments for me. I would show them how to have the talk track. Then they would pick up, they would sell, and they were both on commission, no base. And you all can do this. You got to get a team, and you got to get a team quickly. Cannot do this alone. Team-made millionaire style, not self-made. Doing it by yourself is painful, and you don't even have anybody to brainstorm ideas or lean in and learn and explore ideas, especially people with experience. You're going to be shocked too when you really get into the streets of where deals are being made, how many successful people will support a hand up, a leg up to the next person coming. I help so many, especially student athletes, get businesses started, jump from, being a student athlete to being an entrepreneur. Just, I shouldn't say overnight, but easily in the course of a few months. So get a team around you. So again, if you look back and say, well, if I only had 1,000, how do I be a millionaire? I'd find a team. I'd find the beat on the street. I'd start finding money. In the meantime, I'd be making money and I start putting deals together to flip, whether it's a business, your own business, or real estate. You can do this. You just have to really want it. And you can do it in 3 to 5 years, especially with the volatility of this recession going on. It's fabulous right now. If you have any questions or want to have a further engagement about this, go to AskLoral.com. I have a membership for $17 a month over there. But more importantly, you can ask me any question for free, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I have a whole team will answer, call you back. If you want to engage with me, you've got to come up to the membership level. We're here to help you make your first million. And even if you start with $1,000, you can do it. Talk to you tomorrow.